5:07 p.m. on December 16, 2020. Tomorrow will be the 2-year anniversary after a letter I received from the Supreme Court of the United States saying they were not going to pursue my case at the time. This is the second time I contacted the Supreme Court of the United States in regards to the same charges, but after having acquired more evidence to submit in behalf of the charges and substantiate the charges. Today, I went to the food store to buy food. It's only the second time that this has happened in this regard, where I was told we were going to go to the food store and get food. Last time I was able to get some fruits and vegetables. It's the only time since I've been here where the possibility for acquiring fruits and vegetables has been possible. Today, we went, the total was $88.68. Didn't do any keeping track of it as we were getting the food. Intentionally, I believe. That's 20 cents short of a double 88, just so you know. I found a $10 bill on the ground as it came time for the checkout. Nobody dropped it. Nobody saw how it got there. I picked it up. I asked, does this belong to somebody? Somebody dropped this? No. So I found a $10 bill on the ground. I also picked up a Coca-Cola to drink on the way back. I didn't look at the name. I'd like to think that I did, and I strategically acquired it as evidence. In this case, I did not. It just so happened. This is the name on the Coca-Cola. It doesn't make any sense to me, to be honest with you. This is not a first name. I've never met anybody that has this as a first name. It's not like Colleen. It's not like the other names they put on Coca-Colas. This specific place we went to get the food had a Coca-Cola in the end cap with this name on it. Powell was the name of the IAD officer in Houston who first contacted me about how he was willing to take a report about one of the officers that I had attempted to file a report with IAD with. When he contacted me, I sent him an email saying that the budget, the city council meeting that was already declared to be reporting on numbers concerning the municipal bond would provide evidence and to be on the lookout for that. I never ended up meeting with him to file a report. If I'm not mistaken, that report would have been the report on the actual officer that physically assaulted me in front of everybody and took a picture of me with his personal cell phone. Instead, there was another IAD officer who ended up taking a report on the other officer, the one with the cup, the one who was watching the rape porn on the television involving a white woman having sex with a white man, presumably consensually, and then a group of black men breaking into the room and pulling the white man off and beating him while the black men took their turns raping her. This was on the television in a place where people went to get assistance for being homeless that was presumably sponsored by the Co-Diocese of Houston and Galveston. And while there was a group of young African American Christian men volunteering as part of their Christian service requirements that day. That was the police officer who threatened to kick my ass if I didn't stop protesting the fact that we were forced to watch violent rape porn while we were waiting to get our food. And in order to get the food, we had to listen to and participate in a prayer before we were allowed to get our food. Now, the name of that officer has been associated in the way that it has. The other officer has been in the public realm. That name has been in the public realm a very considerable amount of times. As a matter of fact, somebody wrote a tell-all book. It has entire chapters about the name of that person. Right? Now, it wasn't his name that's in the book, but it's the same last name with a completely different, and to be honest with you, inverted connotation. See, if I had agreed to engage in acts of prostitution to launder money for the Houston police officers' pension fund, well, there would have been no reason to try to file those reports with the Internal Affairs Division. And that was the whole point. Now, tomorrow, like I said, would be 2 years since the Supreme Court of the United States sent me that letter regarding a pattern of racketeering activity. I allege that there was a pattern of racketeering activity that had been promulgated on the local level that had its appearances in the federal budget process. The first time I did this was in 2017. They declined it. So they said on the phone. I never received the mailing they said they were going to send back. But I understand, as part of the rules of the Supreme Court of the United States, every time a petition is sent in via the mail, they make a photocopy and keep it. If it made it to the Supreme Court of the United States, they have an official copy of my original petition from 2017. If it actually made it to the Supreme Court of the United States, they have an official copy of my petition from 2018. And if it actually made it to the Supreme Court of the United States, then they have a copy of my original official petition from 2019. The best part is that because there's been no due process, I got a referral to exactly where they wanted to dump me so that I could keep up the racket. She just came up to me. Somebody's going to be able to get off the streets tonight because it's really cold. Exactly 1 fucking day before the 2-year anniversary on when the Supreme Court of the United States denies my petition, I get a business card for the Salvation Army in Dallas. June, July, August, September, October, November, December. December 21st, 2020 would be 2 years and 7 months. I said it was bond fraud. I told her that I would be contacting them for evidence.